Hey, it's Bradley from MoreBeer. Welcome to the Flash Kegging Kit assembly tutorial. The video will have convenient chapter markers below. The first sections will be how to assemble the kegs themselves. Next, we'll move into the gas system, and then we'll move into the beverage side of the system. So please feel free to skip around and only watch the parts you need to. All right, let's build the 5-gallon flash keg. Included, we have a volume sticker, as well as a silicone dip tube, a stainless steel float, and a strainer that goes on there. Let's put the sticker on real quick. It lines up pretty simply at the bottom. The bottom of the chine has this little indent. There's two of these on it. And you just basically line up the red stripe there. It indicates on the sticker how to do it. That is the bottom. And I like to peel part of the backing off and get it lined up so it's straight, so it's as accurate as possible. And just gently peel off the backing and push it down, trying to avoid air bubbles. As long as you're patient with it, this is going to go pretty smoothly, and you'll have a nice sticker so you know when you're kegging exactly how much volume you have in your keg. Now let's open the keg up to install the floating dip tube. These are shipped with a little bit of pressure, and anytime you open a pressure vessel, always pull the PRV and let some gas out of it just to make sure that you're not opening it when it's pressurized. This is the best practice. So let all the gas out of your keg, and now that you know that it's safe, go ahead and remove the top. It unscrews. It'll be a little tight, but not impossible. It's already got the gas post and a liquid post installed. Next, we will go ahead and get the stainless steel float on the strainer. It goes on just like a keychain. Next, we attach the silicone dip tube to the strainer and float assembly. This guy goes on. The strainer has a little barb fitting on there, so it holds it nice and snug. Now it's time to measure this for length. It is a little bit longer than you need, so I like to measure mine using the actual head or top of the keg that has the liquid post on it. Kind of eyeball it, get your best guess of how high it should be. This isn't rocket science here, but it does kind of pay to measure it a few times and get it right. That's about where I have mine. And just make sure it's adjusted properly. Then mark it with your fingers. I just fold it in half, take my trusty tubing cutter, and give it a quick snip, and you have a nice clean cut. And you're ready to go to the next step. Next, you will unscrew the yellow ball lock and feed the tubing up through it. And then it's really simple. Just push it on to the end of that gas post. Keep in mind, all these components should be thoroughly cleaned and sanitized before this step. And screw it back down hand tight. Doesn't have to be over tight at all. Next, just take the top and thread it on, and the keg is fully assembled. First thing you want to do is open up your accessory pack. All the components you need are inside of this pack. First thing you're going to start with is a little silicone elbow that's going to hold the dip tube to the gas post. Next is going to be a PRV, and this red PRV is critical. Only use the red PRV with these kegs. It's designed for the pressure they are set to tolerate. So screw this in. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. Hand tight is more than adequate. It seals with that little O-ring. So get it on there, just snug with your hand, and you're going to be good to go. Next, we like to put this guy on the center of the tapping head. It's just easier to work with the ball lock disconnects in those gas and liquid posts. So again, we like to turn it counterclockwise and then clockwise. Counterclockwise action helps the threads kind of get aligned, and it just makes it much smoother. With the integrated molded in seals, these guys don't need a lot of force to seal, but they just need to be snug. So a quick counterclockwise movement and then turn them clockwise and get them hand tight, and you are good to go. And that is the gas post going on. Next up is the liquid post, and it goes on in exactly the same way. Once this guy's on there hand tight, you want to take the silicone elbow and you want to take and use the shorter end and put that on the gas post, but not before. A little bit of star sand for assembly lube helps everything slip together just a little bit easier. I like to pinch it in my two fingers and use my index finger to kind of brace the back of it and push it on there like so. Work it on gently. Make sure it is all the way down. This is really going to save you frustration in the long run. Next, I like to uncoil the dip tube, and this guy is coiled up for shipment. and it uncoils in just a few minutes. Just work the kinks out of it, get it nice and straight, because for the 1 gallon keg, we are going to have to trim it and measure it. And like they say, measure twice, cut once. First thing I do is I always install the strainer on the bottom, a little bit of star sand to lube it up so it all slips together. Push it in firmly. The first few times these are pretty hard to get in and out, but after cleaning and use they get easier. It needs to be seated all the way down with that angle cut facing towards the bottom. Next step is measuring it to fit in the 1 gallon keg. This one, if it's too long, you will actually get caught in the bottom and may cause this to come disconnected and you won't be able to dispense. I like to measure about the middle point of the neck. I pinch it with my 2 fingers so I don't lose that position. Then I just grab my trusty brewery shears and cut it at an angle, a little bit more star sand for lube, and I push it on in much the same manner we attached that elbow to the gas post there. Just kind of push it on there and brace it with your finger. Work it on till it's all the way up into the top of that 90 so you have a good, nice seal. And then all that's left after this is just to feed it into the 1 gallon keg we're working on right now. And it goes in super, super easy. So once you're ready to go, drop it in the top, screw it on hand tight, and it's literally that simple. This keg is ready to go, provided it has been cleaned and sanitized. The 2 gallon kegs go together even easier. These ones can be trimmed by maybe an inch or two. I honestly don't. This one fits to my liking perfectly, just no trimming required. So it goes on exactly the same way. This is honestly, in my opinion, the most difficult part of the whole operation. And following our easy steps is really going to save you a lot of headache, especially your first time out of the gate. So once that's on there and it's all in there nice and tight and seated all the way, drop it in and screw the lid on and you are good to go. So the first thing we want to do is assemble the DuoTight mini regulator. The reducer with this goes onto the barb fitting and it seats all the way down these notches. So push that all the way on. You hear it click and it is on there tight. Gas line, and insert this all the way in. Make sure it's in there firmly into the mini regulator. A check valve with an arrow annotating the direction of flow. The arrow should be facing away from the regulator. So with a sharp cutter, cut off a few inches. Now we turn our attention to the liquid system. The liquid line has a very small inside diameter. This line is calibrated so that this 3-foot amount included in the kit will provide adequate back pressure for dispensing carbonated beverages. It's not recommended to shorten this line. Place one end of the line into the yellow liquid disconnect and push it in firmly. There's lines on the disconnects that show you exactly how far the tubing should go in. Next, locate the single coupling and push that on to the liquid tubing. Then locate the picnic tap and install that. Your Flash Kegging Kit is now assembled. Sold separately, we recommend for best result purchasing at least 2 of the 74-gram CO2 cartridges per 5-gallon batch. It's always good to have a spare. It also works with the smaller 16-gram cartridges, and these will work in a pinch and do the job quite nicely. For these, you need the adapter piece, and they screw in. To install the 74-gram cylinder, engage it in the threads, don't cross-thread. Tighten it up all the way. This will pierce the seal. Set the serving pressure initially to about 10 pounds. You can depress the gas disconnect to make sure that you have adequate pressure. All right, that's it. The kit is put together and you are ready to serve your delicious carbonated beverage. So at that point, it's extremely simple now. All you have to do is hook up the gas to the red gas posts, adjust the regulator. Again, start around 10 PSI to 11 is a really good place to serve. Then clip on the picnic tap and beverage assembly, and you are ready to dispense. Shown here, I am dispensing a flash seltzer that I made, and it's just dispensing perfectly. We really hope this has helped you put your flash kegging kit together. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.